I feel like we've been running for literally ever, and we definitely should have gotten to Tangram Hill before now. Is this the Calvardian border? Yes. The Defense Force soldiers should have difficulty finding us here. This will be a good opportunity to rest. Thanks, Sight. You really saved me back there. Huh? What is that? A force field? A barrier of some sort that appeared around Crossbell City. Now can we go feed the cat? I think the force field is unfortunately keeping us from the cat. It would seem that only those that are permitted may freely enter and exit, and those that are not cannot pass through it at all, be they living creatures or machines. You've got to be kidding me. As you saw when you escaped, Pleroma grass has begun to bloom all throughout the state of Crossbell. It would be accurate to think of it as a sign that the land itself has become one with the newly born Septarian. Sight, just what is Pleroma grass? I've heard that it shares some sort of connection to the septium veins underground. It was once the proverbial eyes of the former Septarian of Mirage. As it bloomed, Demiurgus could observe and understand the surface world. She could see the world through the grass? It is also capable of distorting the surrounding space when spiritually linked to the Septarian. That is the most probable cause of the cryptid's sudden emergence. Such beings should not exist on this plane by nature. I think I understand. Those disgusting rituals the D therefore G cult was conducting. They were all about taking advantage of the Pleroma grass's properties to perfect Gnosis, right? Oh, that makes sense. So Demiurgus could use the grass directly to observe humanity. But Kia, I guess, could not, so they had to make it into some kind of compound and put it into humans so that she could absorb their knowledge through the drug instead. Yes, their goal was to accumulate the knowledge and personalities of the victims who fell to the drug's influence. Said corpus of data would subsequently be transferred into the girl slumbering within the cradle of the Sunforce. The vast amounts of information would then self-organize to nurse forth the high-minded dignity they sought to recreate. Then, after 500 years, the core of the Septarian awoke. This is the extent of my knowledge. The situation in which you find yourself is the will of the cult's puppet masters, meticulously crafted over the course of centuries. On that topic, the choices presented to you now are rather limited. Would you not prefer to flee to foreign soil until the storm has subsided? Bold of you to assume this storm is going to subside. They just essentially made a god. That's not just going to disappear, Zeit. I understand why you'd ask. Also, I have to go find Tio. I can't leave without Tio. Ugh. My uncle's home is in Calvard, so it's true that I'd have somewhere to lay low if I had to. Also, if he was gonna lay low, he could have just stayed in jail. But no, that's not an option. There's work to be done here. I have answers to find and a case to crack. Do you now? Solving this crisis and uncovering the truth will be more than just a one-man job, too. Not just them, everyone. I need all of their strength. Why didn't he say Wazy's name? Does no one care about him anymore? So, you see, I can't run. I can't hide. I have to go back and face it all. I mean, I understand not listing Noelle because she's kind of gone off the deep end, but what about our bro? Sorry to do this after you brought me all the way here, but I still have a duty to fulfill. What truth are you hoping to ascertain? Isn't it obvious? I don't care about her powers or where she came from. What I want to know is what Kia wants more than anything else in this world, and I need to hear it straight from her heart. And chances are I'll never be able to find that out once I bring her home. There's also the matter of what happened to the old Sectarian. How can we expect Kia to shoulder the burden of that Demiurgus couldn't? I mean, yeah, she's kind of already killed a lot of people, which is something that Demiurgus didn't want to do. So, you know, kind of past that point. Kia is like family to me. I could never just sit by and let her suffer that fate. So I'm going to take her back, even if that means kicking the president and Arios off their pedestals. Easier said than done. There's Wazy. Good to see. Oh, okay. That auto-scrolled. Now I know. Huh? You got a new outfit? And you brought Kevin and Reese. What are you doing here? Wait, Abbas? And Reese and Kevin? Good to see you again, Bannings. Indeed, it's been too long.
Yeah.
Hey, how you been hanging these past 4 months? Thanks for remembering me, by the way. I only remembered your name because one of my best friends' name is Kevin. And I thought it was funny. Hard to forget the names and faces of the Septian Church's Gralsritter. Wait. Wazy, does that mean you're... Wazy Hemisphere, the Sapphire Testament. Otherwise known as the 9th Dominion of the Gralsritter of the Septian Church. It's a pleasure to make your re-acquaintance. What? This is honestly hilarious. He didn't even really try to hide himself that much. He straight up named his street gang the Testaments and dressed them all in blue and white, which is like his thing. Turns out we're all just blind and kind of dumb. Incidentally, I am a knight of the Gralsritter. I work in the service of Wazy. You've got to be kidding me. Have you two really been stringing me along all this time? I mean, the information was there, we just didn't see it. Wait a second. When we first met Reese, neither of you said even a word about any of this. My apologies. I pretended not to know who he was. Father! That's, Sure, Father Wazy's undercover mission is regarded with the utmost secrecy. I can't take him seriously enough to call him father. I can't. Her arrival here completely fooled that old grump Aralda. He had no idea who the real mole was. I really owe her one for that. Happy to be of service. I mean, yeah. For once, Reese standing out like the sore thumb she is, worked out. Anyone could have seen through her sister act. I'll bet the Archbishop was beside himself when she walked through the door. I have no idea what you're talking about. And besides, you're hardly in any position to preach to me about how to successfully go undercover, knowing your track record. One day I'll understand what you're talking about. To be fair, none of them look anything like your average clergy people. Okay, that is enough catching up for now. You see, the actual reason we're here is because he called us. My dog? You mean Zythe? Yes, that is correct. I had a hunch your resolve would remain firm, so I thought it prudent to recruit collaborators on your behalf. Are they joining the squad? Oh. Now that you know I've been infiltrating Crossbell, you can probably fill in the blanks. And you were a host? Okay. But the Grossritter has seen this situation coming for a while now. To a certain degree, at least. Still, there were a lot of gaps to bridge. We didn't know the Croix family was behind the conspiracy for one, or Kia's true identity. Zythe recently brought us up to speed on the whole story. Like I'm sure he did with you. That being said, what we are contending with here is an artificially reconstructed septarian of Mirage. This situation is far beyond the scope of the Grossritter's typical duty of artifact retrieval. As such, the circumstances would normally make this out of our jurisdiction. Reese, you and I have got to have a talk about your artifact retrieval. I thought you said that bell was never gonna, like, reanimate itself or whatever, and it definitely did. But on the other hand, we couldn't just ignore the society's involvement in this little brouhaha. That's where you come in, Mr. Detective. You're our in for getting our hands dirty. That's about the size of it. I think we'll be allowed to intervene if it's under the guise of collaborating with you. So, Lloyd, what do you say? Yes, I say yes. New squad. There's just one thing I need to confirm first. Kia. What does the church plan to do with her? Right for the jugular. That one's a toughie. Yes, but being dishonest will get us nowhere with him. I agree. He deserves to know the truth. Then that's what we'll give him. The Septarian of Zero is far more dangerous than the Septarian of Space, the Oriole, ever was. That much is for certain, even if we still haven't grasped the full breadth of her powers yet. You've been locked away for weeks. I have? I guess it did say weeks in that cutscene. Are you aware at all of what's been happening around the continent? Not really. I was in jail, bro. It's not like we get news articles. All I've heard is that civil war has broken out in the Empire. Boy, has it. It all got put on the first track after that armored division they tried to send across the border got snuffed out. You know how the Golden Stallion rolls. But every time they tried to push back, they got whooped all over again by those ions. Right when things were going to Gehenna in a handbasket, over there, the Noble Alliance troops scuttled out and occupied Heimdall. It was then that the Blood and Iron Chancellor was shot. No one's seen him since. Oh, he really did get shot. I wonder if it was Lecter. Now that the Empire is ablaze in the flames of civil war, few expect it to be doused anytime soon. Meanwhile, the Republic has been in an economic crisis as a result of Crossbell's actions. Sniper shot, but it'd be more fun if it was Lecter. On top of that, terrorist activity has been in full swing, to the point where the president has formally declared a state of emergency. When it rains, it pours. You don't even know the half of it. It's not like things are coming up roses in other countries either. Questionable activity is beginning to surface in regions Erebonia and Calvard have traditionally had under their thumbs. All the while, President Croix has been pressuring heads of state throughout the continent to have them bend a knee to Crossbell, that is. And naturally, he has the power of the Septarian to coerce them with. Exactly. It had the ability to repel the Imperial Army, one of the most powerful military forces in all of Zemuria. And that's just with the 3 archaisms the Society supplied. What do you think would happen if they were mass-produced, souped up with the Septarian of Zero, and deployed continent-wide? Kia would never agree to that. I don't really think we're in a place to say what Kia would and would not agree to at this point in time. She's just kind of doing whatever. Cold Steel 2. Will I get more beautiful Lecter content in Cold Steel 2? Because I don't remember seeing him at all in Cold Steel 1. I mean, maybe I did. I don't remember, like, anything from that game, so, you know. In all technicality, it does not seem that the archaisms are controlled by the Septarian directly. More likely, the Septarian's power has granted them the ability to move autonomously as her guardians. Much like that Ren girl's archaism, Pattermatter. No way. I'm inclined to agree on that point, Haas. I seriously doubt that little girl is in the driver's seat there. And that makes it all the easier for those ions to be abused, rather, by just about anyone, with her none the wiser. Whether or not Kia is consciously in control is besides the point. A power like that is still much too dangerous to ignore. Okay. Now I know where the church stands. But despite your stake in this, I'd still like to ask for your cooperation. Really? I thought you were going to turn us down for sure. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm just being realistic. I know this isn't something I can do by myself. Time isn't on my side either. The longer this drags on, the more Kia will be made to suffer. But let me make one thing perfectly clear. If you lay one hand on Kia, I'll stop you. Even if it means fighting to my dying breath. And I'm not the only one. Ellie, Tio, Randy, they would say the same thing. We'll never let you take her. Call it a fallacy. Call it illogical. I don't care. We're her family. And we won't let you hurt her. Dang. I knew you were a sharp guy, but I didn't know you had that kind of fire in you. I think I'm starting to get why you like him so much, Wazy. That's a light way to put it. The man's stolen my heart. I'm serious, Wazy. If you... I know. As a dominion of the Grosritter, I swear on Idios' name, you will not be excluded from how we choose to deal with her. Your opinions and input will be heard. I know that's not ideal, but this is the best I can do given our position. Sound good to you? Yeah, it's enough for now. Then we have a deal. Okie doke. Time to get to work. Let's move out, gang. What's that? Ah, that sound. It harkens me back to times past. The heavenly chariot, I take it? Harkens. He actually said harkens. Airships? Tactical crafts reserved for use by the Grosritter. We call them Merkaba? Each is equipped with a number of stealth functions, including, but not limited to, optical camouflage. They'll be just what we need to stay discreet while traveling through Crossbell and airspace. Well, Lloyd, ready to go? Yeah, let's do this. Kia, everyone. Wait for me. I'm coming. Oh, Fragments is over. I love that I got DP for breaking out of prison. We continue.